Format of my daily vlogs. I share my exercise, I answer questions from the previous day's vlogs, and I talk about whatever topic that I want to talk about for the day. So feel free to use the timestamps below as you see fit. Just got back from my 1 mile run, just to keep the legs moving, just so that I can keep my running streak alive. And then before the run, I actually did some body weight pull-ups. Ended up doing body weight for 16 sets of 15 reps per set. And I'm trying out something new. I'm gonna smash all of the sets in this screen right here. Hopefully they all fit. I usually smash in 8 sets, so I'm gonna double that. Hopefully it's enough room to fit in all 16 reps. And the last set, don't be fooled, I did do all of this today. I just switched my pants into running shorts so that I can be a little bit more comfortable on my run. Let's get some questions. First question comes from Drew. 2-part question. Part 1, in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, gi or no gi? Gi 100% of the way. I really like to play spider. I really like to play lasso. And in no gi, it's really hard to play spider and lasso if you don't have any grips. Part 2 of his question, what is my favorite submission? My favorite submission is the armbar. With the triangle, I feel since I am pretty short and my legs are short, it's really hard for me to lock in that triangle, especially if it's someone with broader shoulders. Usually how I like to set up the armbar is someone's in my guard, double sleeve, open my guard, I'll go double spider and 1 foot on the bicep, 1 foot on the hip, and then I'll pull them in, extend out, put them in that triangle right before the submission of the triangle, and then they'll pull back, and then control the arm, pull them down again, and then set up for the armbar. Also with the armbar, I get it a lot of times because I invert a lot and I am pretty flexible, so I can usually hit the armbar by just throwing my legs up really quickly. Burpee Yoga Uncle asked what my thoughts are on intermittent fasting. For me personally, I am a huge fan of intermittent fasting. I really don't mind pushing back my meals so that I can have larger meals midday and towards the end of the day. I am more of a 20-4 or an 18-6 type of guy when I intermittent fast. With this being said as well, I don't think intermittent fasting is the end-all be-all. I think intermittent fasting is just a tool in my tool belt, especially when it comes down to cutting. Also, keep in mind, when I intermittent fast, I still count all of my calories. So I know exactly what's going in and exactly what's going out, though I really just prefer larger meals. For the average person, I think intermittent fasting is great, especially when they're on a weight loss journey or when they're cutting, because when you throw out breakfast and when you throw out snacks, what are you doing? You're throwing out calories, and that's why intermittent fasting works from a diet weight loss perspective. In terms of the physiological benefits, as far as brain fog, I personally am not qualified to answer that question. I don't use intermittent fasting for that reason. The only reason that I personally use intermittent fasting for is diet and weight loss. And to expand on this, with intermittent fasting or any other form of eating or diet plan, I think, in my personal opinion, the most important thing is adherence. If you can actually stick to the diet and stick to the plan, because if you can't stick to the diet or you can't stick to the plan, then all the benefits from that plan go out the window. So with that being said, I think intermittent fasting is great. It's for me. I usually like to pair it with other things. I'm more of a intermittent fasting if it fits your macros / vegetarian when I'm cutting. Davis asks, how does your body first react when running ultra distances? Were you worried about injuries then? No, I really wasn't worried about injuries, and that doesn't even really cross my mind even till this day. I'm not that worried about being injured. I hope I don't get injured, though I do take precautions. I should stretch and foam roll more, but with all the cross training that I do, I feel like that really helps prevent injuries. And I knew exactly what I signed up for. I listened and read David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me, and I really wanted to get to that point of, dang, this hurts, I want to suffer. And that's exactly what happened. For the first 50 miler that I did it self-supported. I ran the first 33 miles, and I really thought that I could just run through the whole thing, but after mile 33, I started walking, running, so I did a combination of that for the last 17 miles, and at mile 33, my joints were super inflamed, and it's just really stiff. It really feels like someone has a dull knife and slicing your kneecaps and sawing it. With each progressive mile, it gets worse as well. But I ended up finishing my first 50 miler in a little under 11 hours. I think it was 10 hours and 51 minutes. And for the 100 miler, I knew it was going to be way worse than the 50 miler. And so my game plan, I ran the first 20 to 25 miles, and I incorporated the walk-run strategy a lot earlier, though same thing happened when I got to mile 50. My knees were aching so bad. I actually had to wrap my knees with wrap, and it was good up until like mile 80, and the last 20 miles were rough. I basically had to crawl / walk, and I was jogging and it felt like I was going fast. I looked down at my splits and my time, and I kid you not, the fastest that I can muster was 16, 17 minutes per mile. On the 100 miler, the first 50, I ran it in 12 hours and 30 minutes. It was less than 13 hours, though the second half of the 100 miler, I finished in a little over 30 miles. So do the math, 17 hours, 17 to 18 hours for that last 50. And it was rough. So like my body responded how I thought it would respond, and it was rough during. In terms of afterwards, I was fully recovered actually within 48 to 72 hours. For the 50 miler, I was definitely recovered in 48 hours. For the 100 miler, I was fully recovered in 72. It was really bad the second day of the 100 miler, but like I recovered pretty quickly. Jose asked, do you incorporate any interval training in your runs? No, I typically don't incorporate any interval training. I really like to keep my runs pretty simple. If it's a long run, I usually like to average between 9 and 10 minutes, usually around that 9:20 to 9:30 range. And then if I want to go a little bit faster, I'll usually run 8 to 8 minutes and 30 seconds per mile. And that's usually anything from a 5 to 8 mile run or even shorter. And I really am just a big fan of keeping my programs pretty simple. Same thing for lifting, same thing for pull-ups. I usually just add volume over time, or with running, I usually just like to go for longer, or I like to speed it up just a little bit, but not any type of interval training. Also, keep in mind, my ultimate goal right now is ultra running and the ultra distances. I actually haven't officially done a race. I've only done 150 and one 100 miler, and both are self-supported. So my goal right now actually is just to finish those ultra races. So when I sign up for a 50 and 100, I want to get an official time and just basically finish the race. Dandy Bambi, aka Mira, asked a two-part question. Part 1, are you ever worried about getting burned out? No, I'm not really ever worried about getting burned out, to be honest with you. I chase the burnout, because if I get burned out, that means that I'm killing it and I'm putting in the work and I'm doing something right. So when I actually get to that burnout phase, I just take a step back and say, all right, I gotta keep going because I'm putting in the work, and usually the results will come. Also, this is for me personally. I like burnout. I like the feeling of feeling burned out, though I don't think that it's healthy, and I don't think this for anyone else either. Part 2 of her question, what do I think about rest days? I think rest days are necessary. For me personally, I'm a big fan of active rest days. It really just depends. And rest days in regards to exercise, but also rest days in terms of your mind and mental health as well. I really am a big fan. Though for me personally, I just feel like down on myself, or I feel guilty, and it actually hurts my soul, my brain, and my heart when I don't take an active rest day and take a rest day. So for me personally, active rest days are the way to go. So if you've been following my channel for a while now, you'll know that one of the cornerstones of this channel is to publish at least one YouTube video a day. The reason why I want to publish one YouTube video a day is to show you all the hard work that I'm putting in, day out. So in a year, in 5 years, if I make it big, there is no question on how I got there. And today is actually day 94 of me publishing at least one YouTube video a day. The only day that I skipped was Blackout Tuesday. So today I wanted to talk about the pros, the cons, and what it takes, and the reality of making one YouTube video a day. So the biggest con, and actually the only con that I can personally think of about uploading one YouTube video a day, is that it's very, very time consuming. On average, I spend about 3 or so hours filming, editing, and uploading. And that's it. This isn't including growth strategies. This isn't including cold outreach, going on bigger channels, commenting on their stuff. This isn't including going on smaller channels, supporting you all. And this especially isn't including, which is also very time consuming, commenting on people who comment on my videos. And since I am coming out with daily videos, I get a lot of comments on my videos. Typically on a regular video, I'll get 200 to 300 comments for that day. This also includes my personal responses, so cut that in half and you have all the comments that I need to respond to. So with one big con, there comes many, many pros. First pro, sharpening my skills. I really think that because I have to come out with daily videos, that's 7 opportunities every single week to film, to get better speaking, for editing, for thumbnails, for tags, for literally everything. And I feel that it's personally supercharged my growth in terms of my skill set. And actually, for example, today's video, of all the clips that you saw earlier of me answering questions, I actually got those within 2 to 3 clips. Usually it takes me 5 to 10, maybe even 15 times of me stuttering and but I got it today within 2 to 3. Pro number 2, because I'm coming out with daily videos, I can literally talk about whatever I want, and there is a lot on my mind. So whatever I'm feeling like talking about, like today, I'm gonna talk about the pros, cons, and the realities of coming out with one YouTube video a day. I can talk about it. Tomorrow, if I have something different, I can talk about something different. I can talk about my cats like I did the other day. I can talk about lifting. I can literally do a brain dump every single day. And that also transitions to pro number 3, experiment. I can experiment with what works, what doesn't, and really it's my channel and I could try out new things to see if you like it, to see if I like it, because all of this YouTube journey has really been one big experiment. Pro number 4, all my YouTube analytics are going up. My impressions rate, my click-through rate, my watch time, my subscribers, all of it is going up. I've been told, and I've also noticed that YouTube has been pushing out my content, and it took a little while. I think it took, I don't know, like 2 to 6 weeks for it to really catch on. Now that I have a decent subscriber count and I'm coming out with daily videos, I feel, and I've noticed, that YouTube has been pushing out my content. I'm getting random subscribers that aren't small YouTubers. When I first started, the first 1,000 or so, a majority of you all were my subscribers of small YouTubers, but now I'm getting random people because of the algorithm. Number 5, building my personal brand. One of my goals is to build a personal brand so that I can help as many people as I can. I not only want to be the grinder, the person that works really, really hard, but I want to be the person that's known as to be transparent, honest, and to help out in any way, shape, or form that I can. The person that picks you all up. If you have any questions, I'm gonna do the best to answer it to the best of my abilities, and overall, just to show you all that I am a good human being that wants to take all of you with me, because it's no use getting to the top by myself, and I'll help out in any way, shape, or form that I can. As far as what it takes, in my opinion, to come out with daily videos, 1, you have to want it. You have to want to come out with daily videos. If you don't want it, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're not going to last very long. You might last a week, you might last 2. If you're doing it for the money and not doing it to enjoy the process, because that is one of my big goals as well for this whole daily videos, is to enjoy the process. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you most likely won't last. Number 2, what it takes, sacrifice. It takes a lot of sacrifice. A lot of my day is centered around making videos, editing videos, commenting, everything. It takes a lot of sacrifice, though at the same time, work with what you have. Right now, I have the time, I have the luxury of coming out with longer videos. In the future, when I do get a job as a real estate agent, I might not have that same time, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be coming out with daily videos. They're just going to be a lot shorter. Instead of doing all the questions, I might have to just do 2 or 3. And there most likely is a lot of other things that I'm missing in terms of what it takes, pros, cons, though this is really just my brain dump, as I mentioned earlier. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed that video. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helped me out. If you want to catch another one of my videos, there's a video right here. There's a video right here. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right here. See you all tomorrow.